Welcome to the Straight Talk on Fleet podcast with Erin Gilchrist. Each week, Erin will be breaking down fleet management, trying to cut through the noise and get down to the real issues safety and operations leaders are struggling with every day. The goal will be to get to the bottom of how leaders can break down these silos of information, accelerate change management, how to use real-time, accurate data to drive massive efficiencies across fleet-focused business processes, and to elevate people's careers with emerging best practices. Now it's time for the Straight Talk on Fleet.
Hello again, Fleet community. We're back for another episode of the Straight Talk on Fleet. I am Erin Gilchrist. I'm the VP of Fleet Evangelism at IntelliShift. On my podcast, I try to be your objective and reliable source of information for the fleet ecosystem based on real experience that comes from managing an enterprise fleet for over 15 years. Fleet management is hard, in my opinion, so we break it down fleet manager style with a focus on everything from driver behavior and compliance to getting more from our internal and external partners and our data. So in today's podcast, I'll be digging into vehicle inspections. I love talking about vehicle inspections. To me, vehicle inspections are the most fundamental practice in successful fleet management. So on podcast 6, I talked about the structure and importance of a good maintenance program that includes tools and technology, organizational support and buy-in, policy, etc. I also discussed the importance of being proactive and predictive in modeling our fleet programs. With inspections, it's no different, and I would argue even more critical because of the foundational purpose and aspects of vehicle inspections. So when we can get our organizations to support and buy into the importance of compliance on inspections and get our drivers to consistently complete proper vehicle inspections, what should we expect to gain? Reduced downtime, for sure. We'll avoid potential catastrophic and costly vehicle events that we know are unplanned. Increase our vehicle life, will reduce penalties. And today, the average cost for a DOT violation, the average cost per case is $5,100. So I don't know anybody that can afford to have high rates there for penalties. Increase our CSA scores, improve our DOT compliance if these things apply to us, protect our cargo and upfitting. Expensive cargo in our vehicles, expensive upfitting that we've taken a lot of time to design and implement. Our vehicles will be well maintained and, most importantly, a safer environment for our drivers when we can be successful in completing consistent and accurate vehicle inspections. So in today's supply chain environment, I think it makes even more sense to ramp up your preventative maintenance efforts, because these will sustain your fleet and you can keep vehicles safe and fit for the road until you have a chance to receive those replacement vehicles, which we know have been drastically delayed. And the first step in successful preventative maintenance program is the vehicle inspection, right? It's, to me, the first step in the process. And then I think about just the risk involved when we're sending hundreds or thousands of fleet vehicles out on our roadways before we are doing the due diligence of making sure they're fit for the road. Personally, I can't even imagine putting my reputation or the reputation of my organization on the line for events that could have been prevented. Again, if we're properly inspecting our fleet assets and equipment, right? That to me is just a huge risk that I wouldn't be willing to take. And I know it's not easy. So we're gonna talk about it. But if I'm operating in a market and I'm trying to get fleet vehicles out on the job every day to be more productive, meet operational goals, inspections might be the one thing that I would skip to save time. And I can certainly relate to that way of thinking. Having been a retail operator, I know that it's tough to get the day going and there's so many competing priorities. Before I was a fleet manager, I was in retail management. And I can remember long hours, long days. I loved retail management. There were so many fulfilling things. But I can remember late nights and early mornings when I did not want to complete my opening and closing checklists in the stores, in the back rooms, etc. Just, you know, the goal of those checklists was to make sure that your store or stores, and for me, I manage multiple stores, that they looked like a grand opening every single day, that sizes and styles were represented, that I was in compliance with merchandising standards, that signs were straight and floors were cleaned and light bulbs were all illuminated, and the list goes on. But I can tell you that early in my career, I learned the hard way that skipping these steps would cost me time and money and respect and so much more. So it wasn't until I put these fundamentals at the top of my list was I really elevated in my success as a retail leader. When I started to put these fundamentals into place, everything else followed. The successes followed. These lessons really set the stage for me to be more process oriented and to never take shortcuts. So, the same goes for our fleets of vehicles, right? Thinking long term means preparing up front. And it's these type of fundamentals that set the foundation for sort of the grand opening of your fleet every single day. And skipping this critical step is not worth the repercussions of accidents or unexpected breakdowns. And every day that we send our drivers out there in these very expensive, very dangerous assets that our organizations have invested in and given to the drivers, these drivers represent you as a fleet leader, your organization, your reputation, et cetera. And so, it's just not worth the risk. And I'll say risk 1,000 times in this particular episode, because not doing vehicle inspections is a risky thing. Also, your vehicles are operating alongside of thousands of other motorists who expect that you and your organizations are doing everything in your power to protect them as well. And why do they expect that? Well, you have lots of vehicles, you're driving lots of miles, your vehicles are branded. They expect that your drivers are professional drivers. So if you're not doing inspections right now, or you're thinking about, revamping your inspection program, or you have a great program and you're just not pushing compliance on your program, whatever your situation is today, stop and think about the risk of not doing inspections, and then don't wait. Get started, revamp, start a new process. It's this whole idea of working smarter and not harder, right? So being proactive versus reactive in your approach to fleet management. And inspections to me are the epitome of being proactive. And so we talked about, operators and field leaders, they have a lot of competing priorities. So it's understandable that, they think that skipping this one step is going to save them a lot of time and money. What are some of the reasons that we forego our inspections? Well, loss of productivity, right? They take time, the time to complete the inspection. Processes that allow for pencil whipping of the inspection, and that creates no real value. Paper processes that are inefficient and don't provide a feedback loop to you and the organization. Maybe you haven't been able to gain compliance among drivers and leaders. Operational leaders, again, just have too many other things they're accountable for. And finally, I think, the main reason that we don't push really hard and put inspections at the top of the list is because maybe we haven't connected the dots on the cost of non-compliance. So yikes, that is huge. So those are all valid reasons why someone might forego vehicle inspections. So how do we create this environment of buy-in and compliance that just makes the process smooth and seamless and somewhat second nature? Right? I'm not somewhat second nature, just second nature. When I talked about project and change management in episode 5, one of the core components of championing change is being able to show real data that helps your organization understand the cost of inaction and the benefits of change. And that goes for anything you're trying to do. But the cost of inaction, I think putting it in those terms helps elevate the potential risk. So I think the first step in painting the safety, risk, cost picture of not performing consistent and proper inspections is, telling a story, right? Painting a picture and telling a story. So what do you need? Evidence and case studies. So how have other fleets been successful and with what methods? Data and analytics. Again, using sound project and change management processes that include data and analytics to build your case. Help from internal and external partners on both of those things. A solution or solutions to pilot in your fleet. And then that project management cycle starts again. So again, feel free to listen to episode 5 for some ideas and structure around project management, or hit me up. I mean, if you need help framing up your project, reach out to me. I'm happy to share best practices, tools, technologies, my project management outline, whatever you need. And fleet community out there, if you're listening, whoever's listening, I mean, share your best practices. Talk about what has worked and hasn't worked for you as it relates to vehicle inspections. So again, comment on my LinkedIn posts and let's talk about it. Let's get the conversation started. Okay, so we all know that paper processes are slow and they are a breeding ground for errors, non-compliance, and organizational risk. So get rid of the paper, altogether. The average cost of paper inspection booklets are $4. So how do we replace the paper? We go digital. I mean, and we're doing this in so many aspects of our fleet today. So it just makes sense that we would also have a fast, reliable digital inspection process. It'll help you drive actions in real time and fix the issues that are identified in these inspections. So what are some of the benefits of digital inspections? Well, safe drivers, right? Driver safety, number one, okay? And you're going to save your drivers at least 15 minutes per inspection versus a paper process. You're going to increase safety and compliance and increase driver and asset productivity, reduce cost, reduce risk, reduce errors. So, there's no reason not to. Really, these solutions pay for themselves. And what do they look like? They can take different forms, but, I think that a successful solution or solutions should allow you to use a driver app that's designed to streamline the daily inspection and maintenance initiation for vehicles and assets and equipment and job sites and more, creating the forms that are configured and customizable to meet the unique needs of your own business. Use digital reporting and automated alerts, right? That'll optimize processes across your operations, ensure data collection that meets your exact requirements, and you'll know that your drivers or operators are completing their inspections the right way every time. So those are sort of what you should expect from a successful solution. Again, back to some of these benefits when you do implement, again, fully configured to your unique operations with, again, digital forms that are customizable. So you can configure them to fit any of your business needs and processes, safety protocol, federal, state, and local compliance requirements, reduce vehicle and asset downtime by connecting inspections to maintenance. I talked a lot about a connected, more holistic maintenance solution in episode 6. One of the key things that I focused on was how inspections are a critical piece of the maintenance program sort of puzzle. And this will help, to prevent issues from falling through the cracks with real-time reporting and proactive maintenance initiation. Again, for reducing vehicle and asset downtime, capturing signatures and photo evidence, and confirm work completion before the vehicle goes back into use. And again, I'll say when you have a successful inspection process and program, that your spare vehicles, if you have spares or pool vehicles that are shared by different associates, Having an inspection process means that every time that anyone gets in any vehicle, it's inspected. So you know that if vehicles are going from operator to operator, driver to driver, those vehicles and that equipment will be ready for use, fit for use every time. And if not, you'll know about it. And you can ensure from a solid solution that processes are followed on time, every time. And you can receive alerts that give you proof of inspection instantly. So you know the moment that there's required business processes and things are completed accurately. And then also, again, streamline and expedite compliance reporting, right? The solution should eliminate pencil whipping and paperwork in your incident and compliance reporting process and save countless hours of manual work. So on the compliance front, how do we stay compliant? Customize your solution, make it work for you, right? It's possible. So operations and safety teams should help to create those custom inspection checklists to meet any type of requirement. And operators, again, should use a mobile app to complete the required pre-trip or pre-use inspection of the vehicle or the equipment. And when an operator notices damage of any kind, it's easy for them to take a picture and record the failure. And then when they submit the inspection, the right people on the team, on your team, get critical information that start that process of getting the asset fixed and in compliance by initiating the corresponding event to the damage, right? So I guess to summarize things that you have to ensure that your solution includes: forms that can be configured and connected to any business or operations process, including incident reporting and maintenance initiation. The app could be used as a standalone app or better, part of an end-to-end connected operation solution. It should be part of an integrated field mobile app for your workforce, right? Complete with inspections and operator safety modules. So it's not just about, how to do it, but why. And I've talked so much about how much more successful we can be when we can show the drivers, not just tell them, but show them what's in it for them. So think about when a driver finishes their inspection and they note that something's wrong. And let's say tires, for example, their tread depth on their tires is low. And they go about their day and they might not think, oh gosh, this could be a safety issue, but you're thinking it because you know about it. So the corresponding maintenance event gets scheduled and sent to the driver's phone or MRM device. And there's that feedback loop. I did my inspection. I said my tread depth was low. Somebody's contacting me to get new tires. They're scheduling my appointment. I go to the shop I'm supposed to go to, when I'm supposed to go there. The tires that are required for my vehicle that maybe my business has negotiated a price on are in stock. And I show up, I get my tires, I'm on my way. I have not lost productivity. The organization has supported me in this, this effort to keep my vehicle fit for the road so I can stay safe. And they've made it easy. So again, on the make it easy note, I'll say this a million times on probably every podcast, is when we can create an environment of safety around our drivers that make it easy for them to do the professional fleet driver stuff, then they can focus on their vocation. They can count on us. They know when they report something that we're going to do something about it, right? So a key component then of your inspection process is integrating the inspection into the driver's or operator's scorecard. So we've talked about scorecards in prior episodes and we'll continue to, because it's a critical part of the feedback loop with your drivers. But they should be inclusive, all inclusive, compliance and safety, right? Safe driving scores, distracted driving components, fueling behaviors like idling, for example, preventative maintenance, and of course, inspections. So again, you got to build trust with the drivers, make it easy for them to be a professional driver, and then get about their business of their vocational work and staying safe and getting home to their families. So I think the end goal with any solution for your fleet should be data collection and aggregation into a single source, if possible, to deliver those actionable insights that can help you keep your fleet safe and efficient, but also help you predict things before they fail, right? So this idea of predictive and proactive is absolutely critical. And the only way that you can be predictive and proactive is through data collection and aggregation. Again, if you can do that into a single source, it makes so much sense. I mean, imagine opening, you know, a dashboard that tells you exactly what you need to know for today. So again, fast and accurate inspections are one part of this ecosystem. However, we need to leverage data from all of our programs, our processes, our tech, our solutions together in one happy place so we can bring our visions to life. We can save lives and be the heroes in our businesses. And, we deserve that. We work hard and our drivers work hard. So the more that we can, again, work smarter instead of harder, and we can do that with data, we can continue to elevate ourselves in our careers. So that's a wrap for today at least, I guess, on vehicle inspections. They'll come up many, many times in our future podcasts, but in past podcasts as well. I look forward to hearing from you on what's worked and what hasn't. Message me or make a comment on my LinkedIn page if you want to talk more about inspections or, anything fleet. And so if you found today's content helpful, please share it out with the fleet community and like and subscribe wherever you find your favorite content. But until next time, keep it real, keep it safe for fleet's sake. And thanks for listening.